how are you taking advantage of technology in your business?
I Anything new with technology, we jump on it immediately. Um, a lot of people are cautious about that and they maybe want to wait to see if it's worth the investment or if they want to know about the ROI on something. And Jamie and I just do not care about that because we want to get on top of it as soon as it launches, and be an industry thought leader, and not like with social media and anything like that, you're never going to be able to sit there and analyze the ROI on it. And we've just, being that we've jumped into everything like that and been on top of it, we have been successful with our business. And I think we owe it all to technology because it started with our blog. And any new thing that's happened with marketing, we're just on it and we're using it within our business. And so I think it's huge. Without technology, I don't know how we would really get any of our business. Because even with referrals, the first thing that they do is go online and check us out. And, we're ranking on Google for different things in Minneapolis. And it's because of all the different time and energy that I've put into landing pages or technical SEO or any new thing that Google launches, I'm doing immediately. It happens.
Do you do any advertising, like with
Paid
Facebook or yeah?
advertising. We The only paid advertising that we do is I will boost posts here and there just because with Facebook algorithms, you don't even get seen by the people who like you. And so at the most, I'll spend like $100 a month. But that's the only advertising we put money into.
When a person is researching you guys and they land on your site, how do you lead them from that first, like checking you out, to picking up the phone and hiring you?
I try to have call to actions in all of our landing pages or blog posts. I always try to give our readers something. So within anything I write, I'm always trying to think about, would I read this? Would I share this? Would I, and what the purpose of the post is. So this week I'm doing a home remodeling for 2017 trends. And then, so I'm going to be talking about the trends. And at the end of it, it's kind of like you give, give, give. And then at the end, you kind of want to pitch at them to be like, now, if you want this in your home, give us a call
So
or
is
shoot us an
that
email or,
okay?
or,
Is
or
that
link to
your
another
call to
page.
action? I'm wondering, like,
Hmm.
do you end your blog post with "give us a call," or do you say "download this free guide," or how do you follow up with them?
I haven't done any free or downloadable guides or anything like that. So I basically will just put something if they're looking to remodel their home, give us a call. Otherwise, if I have written any other posts related to it, I always make sure to link so I can say like, or go check out this post to get more information on this concept or this design. And then for social media, I always want to drive people back to our website. So I'm constantly, anything I post on social media, I try to either ask a question or tell them to go to our website to look at more of the pictures. I never try to put all the information right on social media. I always try to get them to go back to our website somehow.
What are the keys to success for blogging? Like, especially as it relates to a local home improvement company.
Oh man, there's a lot.
Okay,
I
I
would
got my
I would
pen and
say
paper, right?
I would say the biggest one is posting content consistently. Because without content, you don't have a blog, your website's never going to be seen, and you always need new content. Like Google is crawling your website all the time, and people are searching different long tail keywords, and you want to be those keywords that they're searching for.
What do
And
you
if you're
mean
not,
by long tail keywords?
so long tail keywords is, so if you go into a Google search engine, I wouldn't just type home remodeling. I'm going to type best contractor for home remodeling in the Twin Cities.
Hmm.
So that's considered a long tail keyword. So it's like 5+ words, or maybe it's 3 to 5 words, but it's just that long. And when you think about it, it's like, yeah, you never go and write 2 words in a search engine because you want to get very specific and you want to find that information you're looking for immediately. Um, so I always try to think about like what our clientele is searching and then what we can create content to pop up for and then lead them to our website. And so you just need to be blogging consistently. And so I always try to do 2 to 3 posts per week. a lot of times that's really aggressive because it's very time consuming. But those days that I'm just feeling very energized, I'm constantly, well, not, even if I'm not feeling energized, I'm constantly writing. So I'm always opening my computer, and even if Jamie and I are just hanging out and watching TV, I have my computer open and I'm writing. And even if I don't even know what I'm writing about, I'm just constantly writing, because later when you get a good idea of something, you might have already started it, and then you can go back to your blog post and kind of reformat it and work it. Because sometimes that's the hardest thing, is just to get your mind going and writing.
Are
So
you
I'm
writing
always
right
writing.
now?
Yes, no. It should be.
Wow,
Yeah,
2 to 3
blog
posts per week.
consistently.
That's great. I mean, that is very aggressive, and but that's constantly pinging Google too. It's like,
Yeah. And I'd also say there's a lot of talk behind that too, because a lot of people in my marketing realm, they would say 2 posts per month and then make them huge, like make them 3,000 plus words. Whereas I usually keep it around 750 to 1,200 words, and then I do more posts. So it kind of just depends on, if you want to create some sort of a content hub and really bulk it up, then those can go a long way too on Google. So just got to watch your Google Analytics and find what works best for you.
speaking of keywords, and you said I try to think what people are searching for. Do you use any tools or anything to find out exactly what people are searching for?
Google Keywords, I use that. And do I use any other ones? No, that's what I use.
I have a feeling that the longer you do it, the more you kind of get a feel for what works, right?
Absolutely.
What do you think about outsourcing the writing of blog posts?
I think it is a great idea. I have tried outsourcing our content, and it also depends how much you're I don't want to say obsessed with your brand, but I've turned into a crazy person, because I have actually tried hiring content writers or someone to fully take over my social media. But it's just not my voice. And I feel like me and my readers, we've built such a long-term relationship that they could tell that. And I never wanted them to think that someone else was behind Constructionist Style. Like, I always want them to know that it's still me and Jamie always there behind it. But if you're just doing this for your business, I would say absolutely, because you're just trying to generate content for Google to get ranked. And I'll still, here and there, people reach out to me to do a guest post, and basically just to talk about their brand. And I'll do like 2 a month, but I won't try to do more than that. But if you're just using it for marketing tactics, I would say absolutely. I think it's a great investment, because it doesn't cost that much, and it saves you a ton of time and headaches.
Do you ever do any repurposing of your content? And what I mean by that is you talked about writing. You're writing all the time. Do you ever like start with, say, shooting a video and then taking the video and turning that into content, or do you do anything like that?
The biggest thing how I repurpose my content is Pinterest is one of our biggest drivers for our website. And so on a regular basis, I'm going to Pinterest. I'm looking at our top pinned and liked posts, and I will go back to that page. So I actually just did one today that was from 4 years ago. And I went back to that post and I edited the post to sound more up to date. I added in new graphics, and then I republished it so it looks like it got posted today. So I repurpose it in that way, and so I might add videos too. So it's not like I'm re-spinning up a whole new blog post. I'll just beef it up and republish it. But I would say I also repurpose and republish my content and posts on social media. So on one thing, I publish it over to Facebook, I say something. I do to Twitter, I say completely something different. So it looks like 2 separate pieces. Um, but that's about it right now.
Do you take blurbs from your post and put them on social media, or do you completely rewrite it for Facebook and rewrite it for Twitter? And I mean, how do you promote? Like you said, you draw people back to your website. Is that all? What I'm saying is, do you take anything from your post and put it there on the social media?
No, but it will
Announcement?
say, yeah, not really. But mine, we're super not formal and we're more personable because we're more about the relationships with our readers. So the way I publish on social media is the way I talk. And so I laugh all the time. So even on my social media posts, I'm saying, ha ha ha. And I guess I put that in my blog post too, but I just keep them short and to the point because I want to get them right back to the website to read more. So most of the time I'm like, check out the before and afters. This was a total pain in the butt or,
Mm-hmm.
something like that.
What about comments? Do you have comments enabled on your blog?
I do. Um, and yes, that's kind of been a thing that one time I thought about taking them off because there's people out there that say it's your platform and you don't need people being negative, and we've had negative comments a lot. So, but then I decided I don't care and I'll just give them some love if they give me some hate, and that's fine. So I do.
So tell me a little about your blog. Like, what are some of the tools you use? How, as much as you want to, the
Yeah.
technology of your blog.
Oh man. So we're on WordPress. We host with Bluehost. I also have a full tutorial on our website on how to set up a blog. And what else? I'm trying to think of any of the widgets I use. At first, I went with a templated theme that we didn't pay it any money for when we first started our blog. And this last year, I actually invested a lot of money into having a professional rebrand our website, which I think was a good investment. Just shows us to be a little bit more professional. They still help us with a lot of different updates that we have to the site. But yeah, I can't think of any. Google Analytics I use for everything. I look at almost every day. AdSense, we put ads on our website to make money through the ads through Google. Um, there's a Pinterest widget so that every single image that we have, if you hover over it, people can pin directly to Pinterest. And that's something every day I'm pushing out 100 pins per day from our website to our Pinterest boards. And for that, we use an app called Tailwinds, which is amazing. And if you don't use Pinterest and you're a home remodeler, you're crazy because I already know you have beautiful work and you need to show it off to people, because any person out there that loves home things, they are on Pinterest and they are pinning home inspiration. And you want to be one of those people that they're talking about.
What
And
was the name of that app? Tailwinds?
Tailwinds, yep.
Tailwinds.
So
And does that plug into WordPress then?
nope. So Tailwinds is a separate app, but there's a icon that you can put on your Google screen. I forget what they're like Chrome extension. So when you're on your website, that Chrome extension, it hovers over every picture so that you can click. So once a week I sit down and I publish all my posts onto Pinterest. And so a lot of people are like, you do 100 pins a day, you're insane. And I'm like, well, it only really takes me probably an hour to schedule out my whole week. Whereas if you didn't have Tailwinds, it would take you 100 hours. So,
Do you,
and then,
does that app work for other platforms too, like
yes.
Instagram?
Yes, but yes. I would just say, I guess it just depends. I would say you always want to drive people back to your website, so why would you push them to Instagram? But if you're trying to get them to Instagram, then yeah, that makes sense. Yep, Tailwinds works for other apps. And then for all my social posts through our website, I use Buffer so that I'm not scheduling any of our posts. Or I'm scheduling all of them. I'm not spending time publishing them on the fly because, again, that takes a lot of time.
So you take a day in a week and you get it all scheduled out for the week.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Okay.
Yes. Facebook, I try to do 3 posts a day. Instagram, I do 1 to 2. Twitter, I do up to 5. And then Pinterest, I do 100.
Those 100, and that's 100 per day?
Mm-hmm.
And are those all your own photos?
I do a combination of my own, and I do some from different relevant resources like Remodelholic or Domino or Apartment Therapy, other home design websites that give really good tutorials.
All right. So you just said if you're not on Pinterest, you're insane.
You are.
So I'm a guy, and a lot of our listeners are guys. And I
Yep.
think of Pinterest as almost just not even in our world. But what do you have to say to that?
Well, I have a guy friend who runs his own business, and I told him he needs to go on Pinterest, and he told me I was insane because he said that is not my thing at all. And he got on Pinterest, and he was floored within like 2 weeks. He's like, Morgan, look at my analytics. And he had so much traffic coming from Pinterest. And I died laughing, and I was like, yes, I told you. So, and now he's obsessed.
So Pinterest isn't dying.
No, absolutely not.
It's growing.
I think it's growing. And Pinterest is a search engine. Pinterest isn't a social media platform. People go on a Pinterest to search for things that they're looking for. So if you're any type of service and you're not on Pinterest, to me, it's just a huge missed opportunity.
Does Pinterest have a local algorithm? So does it know you're in the Twin Cities looking for kitchen trends and stuff like that?
So in your pins, there's keywords, just like your meta tags and your alt tags in your website. So there's keywords, and you can put locations. And yes, they have a whole map of demographics. When you go onto Pinterest, you put yourself as a business. So just like on Instagram, you have that little check mark, so they know you're legit. They put your website, your location, and then within all the descriptions, I am constantly putting Twin Cities home remodeling, construction of style, and then I put what the picture's about.
Wow, that's awesome.
Hmm?
That's awesome. I mean, I've heard that Pinterest is hot, and I haven't personally explored it too much because my specialty has a lot to do with websites and SEO and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
But I think this is tremendously valuable because, like you said, Pinterest is a search engine, and people go there looking for help.
Right. And home is one of the biggest ones. I would say Pinterest would be the number one platform to focus your time on. And even house too is a big one, but house, I think people are a lot more into, they're going to buy. So I'd say that's another one to focus. But Pinterest is just so easy and it's free. So why wouldn't you be there? Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, you have to put so much time and energy into engaging. With Pinterest, I don't do any engagement. And that's our number one source of traffic to our website.
That's great. So what else can you tell us about blogging that we haven't talked about?
I think just blogging consistently and being yourself and being real and thinking about other people and don't think about you. And always at the end of the post, I'll always go back through my blog post and as much as I can, I'll change I to you. And I always try to think, is this something that I would share? Because if it's not, then you just wasted a lot of time because no one is going to care about what you just wrote.